So I'm a diagnosed narcissist, and this video is kind of a continuation to the previous video I made about narcissistic abuse. So after doing further speculation, this might sound like a really hot take, but I think narcissistic abuse might just be a digestible way of saying neurodivergent abuse, honestly. There are other disorders that I think easily could look narcissistic, and that's why it exclusively gets put under narcissistic abuse, but I still find the term to be very loose. So I call into question how strategic narcissistic abuse actually is in parallel to other groups of people doing what's perceived as unwanted actions. Autism, for example, could easily look narcissistic because, for example, having a special interest might make you come across as a know-it-all. I think even OCD, for example, can hypothetically look narcissistic because they're often stereotyped with rigidity, so it's like, oh, I must do things a certain way, so that could be perceived as narcissistic, hypothetically. I think even ADHD, for example, can come across as narcissistic. Like, oh wow, this person won't stop talking. They keep hogging the conversation. They must be very ego-driven. A lot of these could easily interlink because autism is a spectrum. So, for example, you can get autistic people who need a routine, looks like OCD. You can get autistic people that are more similar to ADHD. When autistic people have sensory issues, that can be off-putting to a lot of people. For example, like, oh, that light is not that big of a deal. Can you stop overreacting? And I've already seen discourse from people talking about whether or not it's actually NPD or autism, so that makes me think what I think even more. So, deontology versus consequentialism, how much of our disorders give us a bit of accommodation and legroom versus where do we draw the line where we're using it too much as an excuse? So, with all of that being said, I don't think it's just narcissistic personality disorder. I think it's all disorders in general, or let's just say neurodivergence.